In the previous segment, I talked about an integrated tool set, integrated in the sense that we need to figure out how to get them to work well together, almost seamlessly. And the question is, how do we go about doing that? Over the years, we've sort of progressed or evolved in our understanding of doing this. In that, when we initially started, we started using a wiki page as a point of focus where we would define what the undertaking was, and we would use discussions for individuals to exchange thoughts, and periodically we would distill the discussion back into sort of a synthesis of the current state of understanding, and we would go back and forth so that once we reached a an additional state of understanding, we would then go ahead and continue discussions and then evolve that understanding. Though, as we began to realize that we really needed to be developing relationship models to better understand um, the situations that we were trying to figure out how to deal with, we started to develop concept maps in InsightMaker because it's what we had available. And the focus page contained a link to what the concept model or models were, along with what the discussions were that were ongoing, so that we used the discussions to develop and continue to evolve the concept map and also synthesize the understanding or distill it back to a summary within the wiki page. Now, as with the advent of Kumu, it began to make more sense to go ahead and use Kumu to develop the concept maps and to use the Kumu project as the point of focus so that we no longer needed the wiki page. So we were defining the project and doing the concept maps with links to the discussions, which might have been in Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever it was convenient to conduct a discussion about the project. And we would go back and forth and using InsightMaker if we needed to do simulation models. Then with the advent of discussions, which are now called issues, within Kumu, we no longer needed a separate facility to do discussions, so that within the context of the Kumu project, we could go ahead and define what the project was, develop concept maps, conduct discussions, synthesize or distill those discussions into summaries of the current state of understanding and continue to progress, all within Kumu, and use InsightMaker for simulation models, so that we ended up only needing two pieces, even though we were still doing all four functions, and the additional components that we talked about using in the integrated tool set appeared as links within the Kumu project in various and sundry different places, so that everything was readily accessible from one place, even though there were multiple applications used for different things, so that it was a real loose integration, though Kumu seems to handle that function extremely well. And you'll see some of that in the things that follow within this environment. So hope you found this informative, and I'll see you in the next segment soon. Bye.